The 10 most extreme school punishments. Number 10. Arrest. Reports of children being arrested by real police officers for incredibly minor incidents are becoming fairly common. Here are just a few examples. A 13-year-old boy was allegedly handcuffed, arrested and sent to juvenile detention for burping in class, while a girl at a different school was led out of the classroom in handcuffs for writing on a desk. In Mississippi, a 5-year-old boy was escorted from his school for wearing shoes that weren't completely black, thus violating the dress code. The same state also arrested a boy for hitting a bus driver with a peanut. Number 9. Same-sex hand-holding. When two teenage boys were caught fighting at a school in Arizona, they were given the option of suspension or public humiliation. The pair opted to avoid the suspension and were forced to hold hands in the school courtyard for an hour in front of all the other pupils. The other kids laughed at them, took videos of their ordeal, and questioned their sexuality. The punishment was effective though, as one of the boys said he wouldn't get into another fight. However, the principal was reprimanded for giving out the punishment, and some critics said it encouraged a negative attitude towards gay students. Number 8. Paddling. Hitting a student, normally on the buttocks with a flat piece of wood similar to a ping-pong racket, is known as paddling, and amazingly, is still legal in 19 US states. Recently in Texas, 19-year-old high school student Taylor Santos was given the choice between paddling or a 2-day suspension after being caught copying homework. Her mother was livid when it emerged that the male vice principal had given out the punishment, calling it seriously creepy for an older man to be spanking a female student. In fact, the punishment seems fairly commonplace in American schools, with 20,000 students a year seeking treatment for injuries sustained during paddlings. Number 7. Cone of Shame. After watching the Pixar film Up, one Florida teacher was inspired to punish her students by making them wear a cone of shame. The veterinary collar, mainly used to prevent dogs from biting at wounds, was put on misbehaving students as a way to shame them for acting out. It was allegedly used on at least 8 students. After pictures were taken and shared on Facebook, the teacher was suspended from teaching, but found a job at another school a few months later. Number 6. Math-solving squats. At a Seoul high school in South Korea, 8 students were forced to do 800 continuous squats after they failed to finish their homework. While subjected to the ordeal, they were asked math problems by the teacher. If they answered correctly, then they could stop the physical punishment. However, one student had to do all 800 squats and was unable to walk properly afterwards. He was forced to go to hospital to seek treatment. Number 5. Fake prom. A Mississippi school got into trouble with a federal judge after it told lesbian student Constance McMillan she couldn't wear a tuxedo and bring her girlfriend to the prom. When the judge told the school they were violating McMillan's rights, the teachers, parents and students hatched a plan to punish McMillan and have their way. They held a secret prom for everyone, but they invited McMillan to another prom they organized down the road, which was attended by a small handful of people: the special needs children. This cruel punishment and ostracization was not unnoticed. McMillan promptly sued the school and was awarded $35,000. Number 4. Eating off the floor. When a 5th grader, no older than 11 years of age, accidentally spilled water on the floor, a teacher came up with a particularly cruel and seemingly racist punishment. The people responsible and 14 other students were forced to eat lunch off the dirty cafeteria floor for 2 weeks, and were warned that if they told their parents, the punishment would be extended. All the punished students were of Hispanic descent, while being taunted by the African American kids in their class. Unsurprisingly, some of the families sued and won $500,000 between them. Number 3. The Monster Closet. A teacher at the Varnett Charter School in Houston, Texas, was fired for locking naughty children in a dark cupboard known as the Monster Closet. The pre-kindergarten age kids were told that monsters were living in the darkened space and, once placed inside, the teacher would hold the door closed while the pupils cried and screamed inside. Sometimes as many as 4 pupils were placed in the closet at once. The children, aged around 4 years old, have been traumatized by the event, with one child vomiting in fear when he was trapped in the monster closet. The reason he'd been put in there? For laughing in class. Number 2. Strip search. An 8-year-old boy was forced to undergo a strip search at his elementary school after staff accused him of stealing $20 from another pupil. The $20 was later found under a cafeteria table. Another boy, also aged 8, was forcibly stripped naked in a Texas school and made to have a shower in front of school staff as a punishment for his bad hygiene. In 2003, a 13-year-old girl was also strip searched and had to shake out her underwear in an attempt to find prescription drugs. They didn't. She took the incident to the US Supreme Court, which ruled the search broke the US Constitution. Number 1. Scream rooms. There have been multiple cases of misbehaving children being placed in isolation or scream rooms. The children are essentially locked in dark, windowless padded cells for hours in order to force them to calm down. Often used on children with autism or other special needs, one 7-year-old boy in Arizona was locked away all day, up to 4 times a week, and denied bathroom breaks. He had to urinate on himself on at least 2 occasions. Another scream room in Connecticut had to be cleaned regularly to remove blood and urine from the walls. One boy even committed suicide while locked away in 2004.
If you found this video interesting, then make sure you go and check out 10 school trips that went horribly wrong. And when I say horribly, they went downhill very fast. So it's playing on screen here, and there's a link in the description. So go and check it out. And as always, guys, thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you next time.